Now to our legal panel, former prosecutor Jeffrey Gold and Drew Findling. He's a criminal defense attorney. And Jeffrey and Drew both, I want to play this sound for you. This is from George Zimmerman calling the police dispatch on the night the shooting happened. I want to play this for you and then ask you a question concerning the stand your ground law. Play the sound.
We've had some break-ins in my neighborhood, and there's a real suspicious guy. This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
And the last thing he said in that call, Jeffrey, was that he's running. And now a lot of people have said the stand your ground law in Florida doesn't apply because he was running after him, that Zimmerman was pursuing this kid. But the Sanford police say that's not the case. They're saying that, in fact, George Zimmerman, when he lost sight of Trayvon Martin, that he gave up the chase, was walking back to his truck, and Zimmerman claims that's when he was attacked by Trayvon Martin. What do you make of that? Does the stand your ground law apply then?
No, it doesn't. I tell you what, Zimmerman sounds like he's full of baloney. You know, this case is where the objective evidence of a 911 tape, it reminds you of Rodney King. Had Rodney King not had a videotape in there, nobody would be up in arms. Because this objective evidence has come out, which is going to dispute everything that Zimmerman said, we're all going to know that it's a crock of baloney.
Yeah, but Drew, you look at this thing, and Zimmerman had a bloody nose. He had blood on the back of his head. There were 7 neighbors who actually called 911 during this confrontation. None of them actually saw this. So how does that bode if you're the prosecutor in court or trying to defend this in court?
Well, let's set aside the emotional issues, because the emotional issues are clearly critical, and anybody would be upset by what took place there. But let's look at it from a criminal justice standpoint. The stand your ground law has nothing to do with casting away the forensic developments that have taken place in this country. I personally have been involved with the Justice Department in putting together a book that dictates that law enforcement preserve the integrity of every crime scene. And you must remember that a crime scene also includes a scene where there's an allegation of self-defense, because a pathologist will always call self-defense homicide, leaving it for the courts to determine whether it's self-defense or murder. In this case, there was no preservation of the crime scene at all, and that, no pun intended, was completely criminal by law enforcement.
But you have a key witness on this, because Trayvon Martin was on the phone, Jeffrey, with a 16-year-old girl who says that while this was going on, he kept saying, look, he kept saying, I'm being chased by this guy, and the phone finally went dead right before the gunshot rang out. That is a key witness in this.
Absolutely. The stand and defend is being used as an excuse here for murder. It's ridiculous, and it's criminal.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you from the outside looking in, having been involved in these cases, you know, it is what it is. It's clearly racist. We all know it's racist, okay? There's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that if this young man had been white, this incident was never have taken place. There was nothing suggested. No investigation revealed he did anything consistent with being suspicious. And for the case to not be investigated, it was not investigated for one reason and one reason only, and that's because the decedent was African American. That's the only reason. It can't be explained away.
This is where we agree. This is about race. It's not about the stand and defend law. That is just a sham. That's not what this is about. That's just being used as an excuse.
Jeffrey Gold, Drew Findling. Gentlemen, thank you both.